Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Eddie Jennings from EJSLLC.com. This video is another in my practice session series for the Red Hat Certified Specialist in Identity Management Exam EX362. Before I dive in, I want to thank returning subscribers for watching another video, as well as invite anyone who's watching, if you haven't subscribed, to click the subscribe button. Also, a reminder that these are my practice sessions for the exam. My exam is just over a day away, and I'm going through all of the posted objectives by Red Hat and trying to either explain the concept with the objective or do a couple of little exercises to practice whatever the objective is talking about. And at the end of the video, I'll do a little self-assessment. And at this point in my preparation, hopefully I'll feel confident with the objective. But if not, I have maybe a day to do a little bit of last-minute reviewing. Obviously, I'm not learning anything new at this point, but to try to get some information back to the front side of my head, so to speak. That being said, these should not be considered tutorials, nor should they be considered authoritative information, because I'm obviously still learning as I go here. I'm putting these on the internet in hopes of someone else that might be working on this exam may find some of the things that I'm doing in my practice session and be inspired to create little exercises for themselves to do for preparation. But because I am still learning, that's why I am explicitly saying these are not to be considered tutorials or any type of authoritative information. So we're into the last set of objectives for the exam, and this is the maintain IdM services. The first is configure NTP on all IdM components. So this, I am not aware of like an IdM way of doing this, kind of like how with the auto mount AutoFS, that stuff is stored in the directory. You can create a DNS record for NTP that basically says, all right, this is what your NTP service is going to be. So I think that may be what this is referring to. So let's see, what would be a way to practice this? I guess I could start with trying to make a service record. So as you can see, there's aftermath from my last practice session. Close that terminal there. And I'm curious, see if this is still a thing. us.pool.ntp.org or gov. Okay, org. This is what I used to use for NTP. So oftentimes you're going to have an NTP server that is on-prem or something that's serving as NTP on-prem. So what I first want to do and see how this would work is, as I imagine they may use something other than just port 123 for NTP. I'm curious. Let me become root. I'm on the IdM server. Curious to see if this is actually listening for NTP. Yeah, not that I see. I don't see anything because I'm pretty sure NTP is going to be port 123 for this. So let's see what happens. So we're going to make a service record. I'm actually going to walk through the wizard for this just to see how this might look for a service record. DNS record. Oh, I need to get me a ticket. KNet admin. Monkey 123. Trying to go slower this time. There we go. IPA DNS record add. Record name is going to be, I think it's _NTP _TCP. Zone name is going to be lab or idm.ejslab.com. And the type is going to be SRV. Oh, so it is going to let us do that. That's kind of nice. Order is going to be 0, weight's going to be 0, and the port is 123. And the target is going to be 0.us.pool.ntp.org. All right, so we have that record. I believe that is all I would need to do for that. So what I'm going to do is, this actually is not something you're going to be able to see because I'm only showing my one VM here, but I'm actually going to revert a snapshot of one of my client servers, and we're going to re-enroll it and see what happens. So I'm going to pause the video while I do this real quick. All right, I'm going to get rid of the client 1 host Dell IPA client or lab IdM client 1. Will that be enough for it to find it? Yes. Okay, so now let's SSH into client 1 and become root. Okay, so 10.40.3. I need to change this to the IdM server. Okay, got that. Shouldn't have to do the Etsy host thing, but we'll see what happens. Need to install IPA client. All right, one thing I'm also going to do, go into Etsy. I want to look at the cronny configuration. All right, so it's currently set to one of the Red Hat pools. We're not set up as an actual NTP server. Okay, so that's what I expected to see. Now we're going to do lab, or not, we're going to do IPA client install. Oh, I think I can do this. -- help. I should be able to say host name if I recall correctly. What I'm wanting to do is the wizard. Yeah, -- host name. All right, that's going to be lab IdM client 1 idm.ejslab.com. I want to configure. All right, so this is the other aspect of this. So configure NTP on all IdM components. This could also mean basically saying yes to this and setting it to a particular NTP server. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say no. I'm curious to see what's going to get discovered. So yes, we do want to use these values. Now misconfigure an NTP service record. I must have, because it was not able to find that record. So it might not need to be -- or underscore NTP underscore TCP. Or is, I can't remember off the top of my head if NTP is a TCP or UDP protocol. So I'm going to cancel out of this, and we're going to make a UDP record for it, even though I don't think that's, I thought NTP was TCP. But, let me take a look at cronny.conf again. Or, firewall command, what is it? Come out of root. Oh, I can never remember this. It shows you the service ports. Is it info service, maybe? UDP, that's it. So it was 123, but it's UDP. So this is an example of, let's say you're on the exam and you're Eddie and you have forgotten if NTP is a UDP protocol or a TCP protocol. Here is a way to use offline documentation to find it out. Use the firewall D command. So let me go back, and we are going to get rid of the DNS record. So IPA DNS record Dell, and its name is NTP, or zone name first. It's going to be idm.ejslab.com, and its record name is NTP TCP. All right, so now let's make a UDP record for it. So DNS record add NTP UDP. The zone name is going to be idm.ejslab.com. SRV. Wait, port is 123. And the target is going to be 0.us.pool.ntp.org. Okay, so now we have that. Dig tsrv ntp udp.idm.ejslab.com. Okay, so we're going to try this again and become root. I am curious. IPA client install. I can't remember. Yeah, there's a verbose. Okay, good. So I want to look at the verbose information here. So IPA client install host name will be lab IdM client 1. Let me just double check and see if it made, I don't think it Well, no, I never authenticated, so it should have never made. There's lab IDM client 2 still there. Oh, yeah, because all I did was get rid of 1. Okay. The IdM ejslab.com. So let's see what happens now. I do not want to specify a particular address. Oh, I forgot to do verbose. This is what I wanted to see. So searching in text record for that. That found the Kerberos realm for TCP. Did that. So we're going to say no for this. Use discovered realm. Host name was provided as an option. Yep. LDAP SRV records. Be talking to the replica. And yes, we want to configure for these values. Okay, so yep, I know exactly what the problem is. I forgot to do, so a fully qualified domain name actually ends with dot. And that dot is the very root of the entire DNS tree. And yeah, I forgot that. So we are going to blow away the DNS record again. And we're going to make the DNS record again. So NTP, at least I'm getting a lot of practice making the DNS record. UDP, zone name is IdM ejslab.com. SRV 00123, and this is going to be 0.us.pool.ntp.org. All right, so dig. I should have noticed this before when I did that dig. SRV, NTP, UDP, IdM, ejslab.com. Okay, that looks better. Now let's try to do. We'll do this verbose again. So no, yes. Now it might still fail. I don't know if it will be trying for, time synchronization successful. Excellent. All right, so admin and monkey123 with the capital M to make it secure. Of course, I would misspell that. So we're going to do this without verbosity this time. And the thing that I was going to be curious about was if it will actually change the cronny configuration, and I believe that it will. All right, so we finally did the enrollment. Let's see if I can get a ticket. This is not my night for doing passwords. Excellent. And let me take a look at cronny.conf. Okay, this is interesting. It changed that to a source dir of run cronny DHCP. That's interesting. Oh, there it is. It's at the bottom. So server. Yep, that's what I expected to see. That 0, by the way, if I remember right, that will give you any of the, I think there were, or a long time ago when I was dealing with this, there were 4 NTP servers, and so saying 0 will give you any of the 4. All right, so for the objective, you could say configure NTP on all IDM components. You've done that with DNS and during enrollment. You can also go into the cronny.conf file. What I am going to try to do is, let me log out of this IDM client. I'm going to blow it away again. And I'm going to try to make an NTP server out of client 2 and see if we can use that for client 1. I'm curious to see if that will work. So over here, SSH IDM client 2, lab IDM client 2 will become root, and let's go into etc cronny.conf. Tell my brain is getting fried on a Sunday at 9:30. All right, I'm actually going to set this pool to 0.us. And we're going to change we want to do this allow directive and give it the subnet. Cronny D, yeah. I don't know why I was thinking just cronny. All right, so let us actually need to add the firewall rule. Firewall command, add service, NTP. Always remember if you're doing firewall stuff on the exams to runtime to permanent or add it to the permanent profile and do reload, because all of your settings have to survive a reboot. All right, so systemctl restart cronny d. All right, and I'm just curious. SSTULP, not to lupin, but give me what I wanted. So it is listening on port 123. So what we're going to do is go back into lab, or did I restart the VM? Yeah, it looks like I did. Oh, I need to get rid of the old host. IPA host Dell lab IdM client 1. Okay, so now we will SSH into lab IdM client 1. Go ahead and become root. That install IPA client. It's going to take a minute or so. I think this is 11. Yeah, it's 11. I'm going to need this IP address. Now, while I'm waiting on this, let me go back to the objectives. So there's an objective that's configure firewall on all IdM components. I don't know of a IPA way of doing that, but firewall command, right? And do your ports. I mean, if you wanted to write an Ansible playbook, you can use the, I think it's Ansible POSIX firewall D module. So you have to have the Ansible POSIX collection installed. I don't think I'm going to do a separate practice session for configure firewall on all IdM components. I think if I can't configure a firewall on a RHEL system, I probably should not be an RHCA. Okay, so now let's do IPA client install -- host name lab IdM client 1. We're going to do the wizard again. Oh yeah, I got to fix, do I need to fix DNS? Yes, because I reverted a snapshot. So nmcli con mod enp1 pv4 DNS. That would be a good thing troubleshooting wise. You know, if you're on the exam and they like give you a broken environment and you have to fix it, you know, LDAP stuff lives and dies by DNS. So that's always a good thing to check. Okay, good. So IPA client, I just do up a couple of times. So this time we are going to specify the address, and that's going to be 10.50 or 10.0.50.11. We're not going to do any other addresses. And yes, we want to continue with these values. Was able to synchronize time. So admin monkey123. Looks like enrollment was successful. Cronny.conf. Chorny. Yeah. Cronny. RO. All right, that's what I expect to see. Oh, what's the old command? Is it cronny C? If I can spell cronny right. It's like you can see your NTP sources. I'm tired, so it's this, was it list? Maybe. Oh, well. I'm not worried about it. I know that the source is right from the configuration file. So I think for configure NTP on all IdM components and doing firewall configuration, that I don't think that's going to be an issue on the exam if I have to do that. Now that I have remembered that NTP uses UDP protocol instead of TCP protocol. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, make sure you do click like. Again, I want to thank returning subscribers for watching another video, as well as invite anyone who's watching, if you haven't subscribed, to click the subscribe button and ring the bell when you do, so you know when new content is available. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and I will see you the next time.